What's up, guys? It's me, it's that ERIC. I am the People's co-host, Eric Barnes. If you're curious as to where the scoop has been, I'll let you know at the end of the show, but for now, this is Raw's EBar, so let's get it started. Okay, so the show started off in a way that I had definitely never seen before, with the 6 Money in the Bank ladder match participants all just sitting in the ring on top of ladders. An interesting choice. I get that having ladders out there during their respective matches and having the briefcase hang above the ring, it's just a way to constantly remind everybody what type of match is going to take place at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But this just seemed kind of awkward to me. I didn't hate it, but it definitely seemed strange. Like Zayn and Owens supposedly hate each other, and yet they're just chilling in the ring together, sitting on ladders. Like, I don't know. I feel like their hatred would not allow that to happen. So, everybody kind of took turns. Everybody got a chance to shine in this segment. I feel like Jericho was the most entertaining. It's just my opinion, but it's true. And then Teddy Long showed up out of nowhere.
Tonight's main event, a tag team match.
Yes. Yes.
Got myself a winner. Got myself a winner.
So I did definitely enjoy seeing Teddy back. He's charismatic. He's funny. It's Teddy Long. Can't go wrong, right? Basically, he was just there pretty much saying that he wants to at least be considered to run SmackDown whenever it goes live, starting in July. And I personally wouldn't be opposed to that. He did fine on SmackDown until the whole People Power incident, but let's not talk about that. I really liked throughout the night how Stephanie was confused how Teddy even got in the building, how he got past security. That was funny because it's like, if he not only made it in whenever he wasn't supposed to, but made it all the way to the entrance, and then somehow got him to hit his music and video package, which is just available even though he hasn't been in the WWE for a while. They're really, really forcing you to suspend your disbelief with some of this stuff, but still entertaining segments between those two. Stephanie stealing Teddy's ideas, basically. I thought that was funny throughout Raw. So the show kicks off saying that each of the Money in the Bank participants will be in singles action tonight, and it begins with Jericho versus Cesaro. Alright, these two are for sure 2 of my favorites on the roster right now, and I thought that on Raw they put on a great match. Cesaro got the win by making Jericho tap, and that gives Cesaro a lot of momentum going into Money in the Bank. It made him look great, considering Jericho is a former 6-time world champion. I really liked it. Excuse me, and I think that these two, honestly, could have a great rivalry at some point. Alright, and then we had Rusev defeating Jack Swagger by countout, which I thought was interesting. I'm not sure if they chose not to squash Jack here because they were in Oklahoma City, or if they're legitimately trying to get him in the United States title picture. It's nearing the 4th of July, so here in America, with him being a real American, this might be his time of the year to shine. Between Rusev, Swagger, and Titus O'Neil, I think that the U.S. title picture is looking more interesting than it's looked since Cena held the title. Alright, so Cena had a bone to pick with AJ Styles. So he called out AJ. AJ did not come alone, though, because now it looks like the club is inseparable. It is what it is, I guess. This segment was decent. I thought that there was good mic work from AJ, and honestly, I thought there was even better mic work coming from Cena. I didn't really like how Cena became Mr. Exposition. He was almost like the bad guy in a James Bond movie just explaining the plot to everybody. It basically was Cena explaining why AJ did a heel turn rather than AJ explaining his own actions. And Cena didn't know that for sure. It could have all been conjecture. It was just speculation, but apparently everything was right. AJ really didn't argue with any of it except for the fact that hearing he was desperate. He didn't like that part. But either way, the club, including AJ, came down and surrounded Cena, and Cena got bailed out by the New Day. Now, I like this feud between AJ Styles and John Cena. I feel like they're going to be able to put on a phenomenal match at Money in the Bank. Definitely have the potential to do so. But, I don't know, there's just some spark missing from this feud that could turn it into a huge wildfire. But it's just not there, and honestly, I'm not sure what it is. Still something that I'm looking forward to come Money in the Bank, though, for sure. Alright, we also got to see the Vaudevillains taking on Enzo and Cass for what I believe is the first time since Payback. Whenever Aiden English caused Enzo to get that concussion. And so Aiden English attempted to do the exact same thing again in this match, and when Big Cass saw that, kind of freaked out. Ended up just going a little bit too crazy, got a little bit too aggressive, and got his team disqualified. I guess this was to show the potential rage, this different side of Cass that we haven't seen before, which was cool. I didn't really have any problem with that. I thought it was interesting. And, you know what's also interesting? The fact that Stephanie, a.k.a. Teddy Long, booked a fatal four-way match for the Tag Team Championships at Money in the Bank. So you've got the Vaudevillains, Enzo and Cass, the Club, and the New Day in a fatal four-way tag team match for the titles. Sounds pretty interesting to me. Honestly, I was wondering if they did this to get the belts off of New Day without having New Day actually lose the titles. I'm not sure. They do mention how close New Day is getting to holding the all-time record for these championships week in and week out. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to continue to hold on to the belts. So, I guess we'll see. But it's definitely going to be an interesting match. Alright, and the next singles match that we had from the Money in the Bank ladder match participants was Sami Zayn versus Alberto Del Rio. I thought that this was another quality match. I feel like they're trying to rebuild Del Rio at this point because they're the ones that allowed him to fall so far from grace. He was never the top guy. Even whenever he was the WWE champion, he was not the top guy. But he's definitely was a lot better booked. He had a more interesting gimmick for such a long time that they just kind of trashed him. Everybody in League of Nations was basically garbage while they were in that group. So, feels like they're trying to rebuild Del Rio. But the one who's going to end up with a lot of rebuilding to do is Sami Zayn. He somehow keeps getting huge opportunity after huge opportunity in these big matches, for whether it's for titles or just against Kevin Owens, his longtime rival, and every single time he comes up short. He has consistently failed every time the match actually really does matter. Don't get me wrong, I think that Sami Zayn is incredibly talented. I like him a lot. For me, Zayn versus Nakamura is match of the year so far. So I don't have anything against Sami Zayn, but I would say that his odds are the least favorable in Money in the Bank out of everyone. And speaking of everyone, wasn't there originally supposed to be 7 people in the Money in the Bank ladder match? Maybe they put the 7th person in the lockbox? Eh? And the last of the single matches featuring the Money in the Bank ladder match participants. Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. Okay. It's not the first time we've seen this, and it probably won't be the last, but I'm okay with it because these two always seem to put on a great match with one another. And Monday night was no different. Another great match in my opinion. I really like that none of these matches had any screwy finishes. as far as the Money in the Bank participant matches. They all had a clean winner, and I like seeing that. It doesn't necessarily make everybody look strong, but it makes me, as a fan, feel like I didn't waste my time watching the match because there actually was a winner and a loser. Also, Kevin Owens pushed Dean Ambrose off a ladder, so there's that. Alright, so the women didn't even have a match this week. Just a segment where Charlotte comes out to apologize to her father, Ric Flair. And as she's apologizing, I don't know, it's a very strange thing. Like, did people really get that upset over what she said to Ric Flair to where Stephanie had to call her a spoiled brat or whatever last week, and then this week she's having to apologize? You know what I mean? Like, it was just a heel promo. I don't feel like any apology was necessary. Even if she was saying, "Oh well, I still want to be your daughter and blah blah blah, but I just want you to not be around to hold my. I don't need you to continue being champion." And if that's true, why'd you bring him in the first place? Because he wasn't there when you won it, so you brought him. I don't know. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. But regardless. Interrupted by Becky and Natalya, and they were trying to warn Dana Brooke about what was going to happen to her if she continued being friends with Charlotte. It's happened to basically everybody that was friends with Charlotte previously, so why wouldn't it happen to Dana? So Dana looks like she's listening, kind of moving on to their side, but really she's just getting close enough to them to lay in the sneak attack, which was cool. So Dana and Charlotte attack Natalya and Becky. Really, this just seemed more like women arguing. I mean, I understand that the men do the same thing, but it's just like, you stabbed me in the back and you weren't my friend. I don't know. I know that these women are infinitely talented, so I don't know why they didn't get a match on Raw. I don't know why they're stuck in segments where they're just acting like catty women. They're better than this. They're better than what they're being given, and it sucks. I've been saying it for the past few weeks. It feels like the women's division is taking a step backward since the whole Divas/Women's Revolution, whatever you want to call it. And to me, this just reinforces that notion, along with the fact that where the hell is Sasha Banks?
Had a dream, had a million.
Alright, so our main event was once again a 6-man tag team match, this time pitting the club against the New Day. Quickly turned into a 5-man tag team match because Xavier Woods early on got hurt on the outside by AJ Styles. So the club did defeat the New Day, but how important or impressive is the win considering that it was 3-on-2? Just saying. After the match, the club continued to attack New Day until John Cena comes out to make the save. I feel like the old Cena, or maybe just a healthier one, would have replaced Woods in the match completely, instead of just coming out to make the save at the end. Seems logical, but I'm assuming that Cena isn't 100%. He said leading up that he wasn't going to be 100% whenever he first came back. So I'd say we won't see Cena in a match until Money in the Bank. Not that there's a lot of time left, so that seems kind of obvious, but I'm just saying. You still could have had the club going over by pinning one of the New Day, so Cena didn't look weak. If you still wanted to give the club the win, I don't know. Just seems like there were different ways to go about it than they did. But that was the main event. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you this week. As for the scoop, Noah really hasn't been posting too many videos to keep everybody updated, so I'll tell you guys what I know right now. Basically, he has been moving his girlfriend into his place. Moving always sucks, a lot. So, pretty much he's got just a ton of stuff that they need to go through and get where it needs to go. He sent Mike and I a picture of his studio/living room, and it was just it was just unbelievable. So you should be watching this on Wednesday if you're watching on the day that it came out. So by Friday, he says that things are going to be good. He says that we are going to be doing an extra long edition of The Scoop, a live edition on Friday, which normally we do live on Tuesday, but we're trying to make up for the little hiatus. So as far as I know, Friday at this point, there will be live Scoop. Things just happen. It's life. So, anyway, that's what's up with The Scoop. Like and subscribe if you like this video at all. Likes are very important, so please don't forget to like the video if you did like it. Comment down below. Let me know what you think is going to happen to Money in the Bank. What did you think of Raw? You know, all that cool stuff. And, as usual, I'll see you guys next week.